I noticed I had a drip from between the oil cooler and the filter housing, so I decided I'd replace the lot. You can just replace the gasket, but the problem is a new filter housing and a new oil cooler as a unit are actually very cheap. I think it's something that go quite often on these. It's a Transit 2.2 front wheel drive. Now, in itself, the job shouldn't be that hard if nothing goes wrong. However, you do have to drop the oil, you do have to drop all the coolant out of it. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to give it an oil and filter change and give it a coolant change. Hey, it's just a bonus, and to be fair, it was due. If you really want to solve some problems with your oil cooler and filter housing, this probably is a video that you should watch. There are about 3 different things that can go wrong with your oil cooler, and the worst one is where it actually leaks the oil back into the coolant. I actually had that on a Ford Fiesta, so it's not a problem I haven't seen before. Luckily this one, it's just the drip. Now, this is actually a very cold day. I'm actually going to run the van up to temperature because I haven't actually used it for a while. Then I'm going to let it cool off before I drain the coolant and the oil. And while it's warm, I'll actually slacken off the nuts that hold the filter housing on, because having a warm block and perhaps colder bolts should make them come out a bit easier. Right, that's put some warmth into it. It should have got any crap and stuff in the oil and in the coolant suspended in it. I'll probably leave it for about 3/4 of an hour to an hour now before I actually drain them, but I can get on with other parts of the job. Well, the drips definitely got a little bit worse. It wasn't that bad last time I used the van, so it looks like I'm doing this at just about the right time. You can actually see the ends of the bolts that hold the filter housing on, and there's also a sensor that'll need changing over. So what I'll do is let it cool down for a bit. A bit of penetrating oil on the end of the bolts cools them down a bit, so with the block warm it makes it easier to start the bolts. Unfortunately, I didn't actually manage to video that particular bit, but you can see the 3 bolts here, and I just loosened them off before I started draining everything else off. Then I drained all the oil out into a nice big container. Working on a van like this, you can actually do quite a lot without jacking it up, so this is literally with just the wheels on the ground. Once it had all drained out, I put the actual sump plug back in, a new one, and then I torqued it up to 20 Newton meters. The radiator has a drain plug on the bottom right as you're looking from the front. It comes out of here and it is a bit messy because it goes over a sort of frame rail before it drips down into your container. Then got on with removing the 2 water hoses that go to the oil cooler. There's a sort of slightly lower one on the left hand side. Take off the clamp and then just give it a bit of a twist. It comes off loose quite easily. That seemed a bit more effective than that drain plug. And then I removed the top one, which had a different type of clip on it. It came off easy enough though, same technique, give it a bit of a wiggle and then pull. So far, so good. then it's time to take out the 3 bolts that hold it in. The lower one's a shorter one. Having loosened them earlier, they came out reasonably easy. Obviously when you've just got the final one and you've got the weight of the actual filter housing resting on it, you do need to fiddle about a bit. And that's another longer one in there, and let's go and have a look at it. That's the new one and the old one, and I was told that they are an update, and it would seem one of the main things is obviously a canister rather than a cartridge, but also it now has a rubber seal here, whereas on the old one it just had a gasket that you used. So there's only 3 mounting bolts, they're all in the same place, so I can't see there being an issue there. The oil cooler itself looks a little bit bigger. I think there should be enough room for that. You know, if there isn't, I'll be fuming. Turning them over and letting the oil drip out. So I've got a sensor I need to move over, and other than that, all the connections are all the same. So this should go back reasonably well. What I might do is actually strip this one down, but I'm not going to do it now because I'm losing the light outside. And it's leaking on this seal here, and apparently this is a common thing. The 3 main things that go wrong with these is either they start mixing coolant and oil inside here, and that's a real nuisance to clean out your cooling system. They leak from here, like mine, or they leak from where it goes onto the block. Now let's hope when I put this on, it goes straight on. Not that I've swapped the leak here for a leak there. Unless this is new, it should be okay. So I'll get this sensor swapped over and I'll get it back on ASAP. 22mm long socket for the sensor. I think it's got a tapered thread. Give everything a good clean over so that your gasket surfaces are nice and clean. It's a bit of a fiddle working with one hand, but the idea is you get one of the bolts through, tighten it in just enough to hold the weight, and then you can put the other 2 in. If I achieved it, I'm sure most people can. Found lots of conflicting information on the torque for these, so I decided to go with my own wisdom, having had bad experiences with bolts going into engine casings in the past. What I did was I took these up to 15 Newton meters first of all, and then finally up to 18. On this size of bolt, I think that is going to be really sufficient. Then I replaced the 2 coolant hoses. I put a little bit of silicone oil on the stubs for these so that it makes them slide on easier. They actually went on very easy. Usually you find you have a right struggle with this kind of hose because it's in an unusual place and it's old and stiff, but no, in this time it worked a treat. Not forgetting to connect up that sensor as well. Went on easier than it came off. Just made sure the clips were on nice and tight as well. That's everything back together and torqued up now. I'll put the torque settings in the description. Now I need to put in 6.2 litres of finest motorcraft oil and then 10 litres of coolant, although I suspect it won't take 10 litres. Then I'll run it up to temperature, check if there's any leaks, and if there aren't, the job would be a good one. I'm going to use Granville Rapid Cool Red. It's an oat type one, which should be a good stuff. Now, I'm in the UK, it's not going to get that cold, so I can mix it 1 part that, 2 parts water, and I'll use filtered water for it. Having run it up to temperature, no leaks whatsoever. So what I will do is over the next couple of times I use the van, I'll check the oil level afterwards to make sure that it's staying reasonably constant, and I'll also keep my eye on the coolant. I did say I might strip the unit down, so I did. There's 5 or 6 Torx 30 screws that hold the actual cooler unit on. And with a couple of blows with a copper hammer, it soon came apart. I used the pick tool to pull out the old seals. They were quite stiff. Maybe they were a little bit compressed as well. I suspect if I'd have put in a new seal that this unit might have been fine, but as the seals are quite expensive, I thought it might make more sense just to buy a whole unit, because they are quite cheap. I'll put a link in the description if you want to get the same one. Looking at the cooler unit, the inside looked fine, didn't seem to be too much corrosion. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this, why not subscribe? We've got lots of different things with the Transit and other cars and bikes that we've got. Anyway, thanks for watching.